and today is another installation of my in-depth bookshelf tour. This one is going to be the very last shelf on this bookshelf over here. You can't see that one either, just like the other one, you couldn't see that one. So either I will link my, which I probably will, I don't know why I said either, I will link the library tour video down below so you can actually see that bookshelf if you really want to, or you can just trust me. Yeah, I suppose. I don't know. Okay, there's a whole bunch on this one, so it may end up either being 2 or 3 videos. Let's go right ahead and jump into it. Okay, the first stack, I guess, that I'm going to talk about in this shelf number 5 group of videos, maybe, is this one. I'm going to kind of lump these together because they're all kind of small, so I just thought I would get them out of the way as quickly as I can. The first one in this little stack that is this size, the other ones are a little shorter than this, is this one. It's called Shark Attack. If you don't remember from my bookshelf tour before, I'll link that below, bookshelf tour part 1, the books that I have read out of what's on my bookshelf, which has changed slightly since I made that one, because I've read a few books since then. I said this is one of my favorite ones, even though it is, moving these around kind of makes it look like it's all one big book, but no, it's like 5. This is one of my favorites, even though it's level 3, grades 2 and 3. So yeah, it's for, yeah, but I just love it. I don't know why. Maybe just because I really like sharks and it's an interesting story. This is about a man, let me put this over there. This is about a man named Rodney Fox. Now, Rodney was attacked by a shark, obviously. And this basically just tells you what happened to him. And then it tells you just a few things about sharks. I'm actually going to show you a picture of him. There he is. I don't know how well you can see that. How well can you see that? There he is. Look at that nasty scar. So, yeah, it just talks about him, and it talks about other kinds of shark attacks and why sharks attack, or why they think sharks attack, and shows you different shark jaws. The big one here, let me see, let's zoom this in on you. There we go. I don't know if you can read it, but this big one here is the Megalodon, which is an extinct or presumed extinct shark, and this is a great white, which is the largest known living shark today. And then you can see how much bigger Megalodon is / was. Yeah, I just love this book because I love, let's see, I'm going to show you another picture. I love sharks. Sharks are fascinating to me. I don't think they get the kind of respect that they need or deserve. Here's another one. That's Rodney getting bit. It's pretty graphic for a grade 2 and 3. So yeah, there's that book. The next 3 books are all William Shakespeare. I had to read these, and the other one that I'm going to talk about, which isn't William Shakespeare, which is why it's not in this little group. I had to read these for school for some reason or another. And they look like this. I don't know why I have 2 Macbeth ones. I think this one is my sister's, actually. And I don't know why I have it, so we'll just put that over there. I'm not really going to talk too much about these, but because I'm pretty sure everyone knows Macbeth and Romeo and Juliet. Next one is this one, Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I'm not going to talk about this one very much either, because I'm pretty sure everyone knows about Scrooge and, you know, the three ghosts that come visit him, and Tiny Tim, obviously. So yeah, there's that one. And the next few in that group are these shorter ones, and the first one is this one, which is The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. I almost said Charles Dickens again. Oops. This short novel, already a modern classic, is the superbly told tragic story of a Cuban fisherman in the Gulf Stream and the giant marlin he kills and loses, specifically referred to in the citation accompanying the author's Nobel Prize for Literature in 1954. I think I already talked about this one because I think it might have been on another shelf, but there it is again. I think I said I was going to skip it, but I guess I didn't realize it was really soon. The next one is this one. Arthur Miller, The Crucible. I didn't like this book. We had to read this for my English class because I don't know why we had to read this, but what we did was we were assigned different parts. So like someone was Mary Warren and someone else was Proctor and someone else was Abigail, and it was kind of fun, but I just didn't like it anyway. I don't know how many people know about this one. It takes place in Salem during the witch trials. First produced in 1953 at a time when America was convulsed by a new epidemic of witch hunting, The Crucible The Crucible brilliantly explores the threshold between individual guilt and mass hysteria, personal spite, and collective evil. So it's basically just how people deal with an epidemic sort of thing. So, yeah, there's that one. And the last one in that little stack is this one. It's Reflections on a Gift Reflections on a Gift of Watermelon Pickle and Other Modern Verse, compiled by Stephen Dunning, Edward Luders, and Hugh Smith. I don't know what this is about. I don't know why I have this. How to Eat a Poem. Let's read. That's what the back says. It doesn't say like what the book is about, but I guess it's just a bunch of rhymes and poems and stuff. Don't be polite. Bite in. Pick it up with your fingers and lick the juice that may run down your chin. It is ready and ripe now, whatever you are. You do not need a knife or fork or spoon or plate or napkin or tablecloth, for there is no core or stem or rind or pit or seed or skin to throw away. The next stack that I'm going to do, and this may or may not end up being the last ones in this first part, I don't know. It looks like this anyway. There's 6 books in this whole stack. The first one is Acceleration. This one was my sister's, by, who's this by? Graham McNamee. It's McNamee. So I think it's McNamee. It might be just McName or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and read the back of this. It's a hot, hot summer, and in the depths of the Toronto Transit Authority's Lost and Found, 17-year-old Duncan categorizing misplaced belongings and sifting through accumulated junk. And between Jacob, the cranky old man who runs the place, and the endless dusty boxes overflowing with stuff no one will ever claim, Duncan has just about had enough. Then he finds a little leather book. It's a diary filled with the dark and dirty secrets of a twisted mind, a serial killer stalking his prey in the subway, and Duncan can't make himself stop reading. What would you do with a book like that? How far would you go to catch a madman? And what if time was running out? The next one is this one. I think all these next ones I found up in the attic. We went up there to look for books to put on this bookshelf, and we found about, I think, like 3 or 4 boxes, and we only kept, I think, enough books to fill one, maybe 1.5. But anyways, this one is called One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich by Alexander Solzhenitsyn. That's what he looks like. There, that's his name. And that's the guy's name and the book's about. I don't know how to say either of those because it's, I don't know. Oh, good. This is all just reviews on the back. Let's see. This is the book you have heard about. The most important novel to come out of the Soviet Union since 1917. But Ivan Denisovich is more than just a political shocker. It is a deeply moving novel written in the easily readable style of an Ernest Hemingway, a book that minces no words, a document that speaks from the heart of a real human being. The next one, and I think all these ones were my grandpa's, so there's probably some Russian stuff and some Japanese stuff. The next one is called Snow Country, and it's by a Japanese name that I'm not even going to try to say. I don't know how well you can even read that. It might even be backwards. I don't know. But there it is. If you can read that. Maybe it's Yasunori Kawabata. That's what I'm going to say. It's got this cool little graphic on the bottom. To the Snow Country, isolated from the rest of Japan through the long winter months, comes the cynical Shimamura, drawn there by the warmth of a young geisha Kamako, I don't know how to say anything Japanese or Chinese or any kind of like Asian, so I might be butchering all this crap. Their story is the foundation for one of the finest novels in modern Japanese literature. So it's just about this guy and this girl. I guess it's like a love story. The next one is The Cross and the Switchblade by David Wilkerson with John and Elizabeth Sherrill. Gang fighters, drug addicts, teenage runaways, and prostitutes. The toughest and most hopeless kids that New York's ghettos had to offer, until a young country preacher from the Pennsylvania hills arrived on their turf and began preaching a street corner message of renewal, miracle, and God's love. So it's about a preacher and the ghetto, in the ghetto. The next one is Alfred Hitchcock presents a Hangman's Dozen by Evan Hunter, Ray Bradbury, and 13 other peerless writers of the weird and wonderful. Evan Hunter, Ray Bradbury, Richard Matheson, Donald Westlake, Jack Ritchie, G.B. Guilford, Robert Arthur, Charles Einstein, John Cortez, Richard Stark, Helen Nielsen, Richard Deming, Jonathan Craig, J Street, and Fletcher Flora. It's just a bunch of, I guess, little story things. And the last one on that, in that group is this one. It's called Fail Safe. Fail Safe. It is by Eugene Burdick, co-author of The Ugly American and Harvey Wheeler. I guess it's by Eugene Burdick and Harvey Wheeler. I just said it like in a weird way. And Eugene is the co-author of The Ugly American. On the back is just a bunch of reviews again. Let's read, well, since I can't actually find a thing, let's read the first paragraph. Chapter 1 is called The Translator. Peter Buck walked up to the Pennsylvania entrance of the White House. It was one of the hard, deceptive, crystal days of early spring. The obelisk of the Washington Monument was white and glittering. Tourists hurried rather than shuffled past the White House. Official limousines went by with their windows rolled up and their back seat occupants thumbing through papers, their Chesterfield collars up. The air was marvelously clear and full of sun, but it was cold. So, I don't know. I don't know what this is about. I can't really be bothered to look it up, like I said, with any of the other ones. I think that might be what I'm going to do for any that I don't know about, because a couple of them have reviews on the back, but on the inside there's like a little blurb thing, but like this one doesn't have that. So maybe for those kinds I'll just read like the first paragraph or two. So yeah, there's Failsafe. Okay, the next stack that I'm going to do is this one, and this I think is going to be the last few books that I'm going to do in this part, because I think there's about 13 books left. So I'll do those in the next part, and I think it's only going to be 2 parts, just like everything else. The first book in this group is this one. It's called The Loop by Nicholas Evans, author of The Horse Whisperer. A pack of wolves makes a sudden savage return to the Rocky Mountains ranching town of Hope, Montana, where a century earlier they were slaughtered by the thousands. Biologist Helen Ross has come to Hope from the east, fleeing a life in shambles, determined to save the wolves from those who seek to destroy them. But an ancient hatred awaits her at Hope, a hatred that will tear a family and ultimately the community apart. And soon Helen is at the center of the storm by loving the wrong man, by defying the wrong man, by daring to lead a town out of the violent darkness of its past. I've read a few chapters of this, 2 or 3 chapters of it, and then I just got reading something else. As happens a lot, actually, which is is what happens if you hear me say I've read just a little bit of this. That's what happened. I ended up just starting to read something else, and that one just kind of got pushed onto the back burner. The next one is this one, Life of Pi, by Yann Martel. I loved this book. Let's see, this came out a long time ago, 2001, and I read it pretty soon after that. So yeah, I read this a long time ago, before they were even thinking about making it into a movie, and I really liked it. Okay. When 16-year-old Pi Patel finds himself stranded in a lifeboat in the middle of the Pacific Ocean with only a menacing 450-pound Bengal tiger for company, he quickly realizes that the only way he will survive is if he makes sure the tiger is more afraid of him than he is of it. Finding strength within himself, he draws upon all of his knowledge and cunning, battles for food and shelter, overcomes storms and disasters, and in the end, makes a peace of sorts with both tiger and ocean. With more than 1 million copies in print, Life of Pi has become a modern classic, combining grand storytelling with a profound exploration of ageless themes. Faith and truth, fact and fiction, man versus nature, and innocence and experience. So good. And if I keep, bouncing, it's just because I like doing that, and so I do. I move around, and I move my legs, and the next one is this one, called The Wolves of Autumn, and this is by that guy that I said one of my other bookshelf tour videos. I don't know how you can see that. I don't know if it's in focus or not, but it's Scott, Cienncin. So it's like Cienncin or Kienncin or Kienncin or something. On Autumn, humans work magic, while sentient wolves execute the laws of the sleeping gods. That really sounds like a good thing. I'm going to butcher all these names, because this is like a fantasy kind of thing, and so these names aren't actually names. Humanity is suddenly menaced by growing ranks of the Hollow, a new race of hideous monsters born to women, yet born without souls. Why do the Hollow exist? How can they be stopped? The wolves choose Merchant Prince Trevelyan, oh god, the warrior of Shantou, beautiful witch Ariadne, oh god, and the criminal Catham, as mankind's champions against the Hollow, but can spoiled, indecisive, reluctant young Trevelyan face the pain, the horror, the savagery of the quest? And what are the wolves' what are the wolves' real plans? I probably butchered all of those names. So there's that. The Wolves of Autumn, by Kienncin. That's what I'm gonna call him. I don't know. The next one and the last book of this part of the fifth shelf is Lord of the Kill, by Theodore Taylor. Now, I loved this one too. I read this pretty much around the time of Life of Pi. Yeah, this came out in 2002. So I read them both pretty much the same time. As you can see, there's kind of a theme going with the tigers. Okay. A chilling murder in the wild. When a half-eaten body is found inside a locked jaguar cage, 18-year-old Ben Jepson knows it's no prank. Someone is trying to make trouble for the Los Coyotes Big Cat Preserve and its manager, Ben's father. An outspoken conservationist, Dr. Jepson has made powerful enemies. But which one would dare go to these lengths, and why? Ben's parents are on a tiger conservation mission deep in the jungle. Now Ben is the only one who can keep Los Coyotes running. But when his beloved tiger Dimitri, named Lord of the Kill, is kidnapped, Ben must decide whether to wait for the authorities to handle the case or to strike out on his own. Loved this one too. Maybe it was just how old I was, or just that I love animals so much. But I really liked this. Alright. That is it for the first part of my fifth shelf in the in-depth bookshelf tour. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found one or more of these books to be interesting to you. Watch out for the rest of the next part, or the next two parts. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to be 2 or 3 because there's a lot of books on this bookshelf. So I'll see you guys later. Bye!